Hey, what's going on, everybody? Good morning, good afternoon, or whatever time that this video reaches you. We making this video in response to the situation that happened at Community Hospital in Munster, Indiana. A situation that my sister was involved in. I just want to give an update on my sis as of right now. She is doing better. Her spirits are mending, and she's just trying to collect herself and get a peace of mind, get some rest. Let me see. I got some notes because I want to make sure that, we touch everything and deal with everything. I want to apologize to all of the families that's involved and send my heart out, my condolences to everybody that's involved in the situation, from Jamal Williams to Ryan Askew and Benny Freeman, the two officers, and also the young man who's involved in the situation as well. So within the news, and also we have seen some posts and different things from some family members that was involved in the situation, and we just wanted to do our part to try to help bring some clarity to the situation, and anything that on our end that we can bring to the table to help everybody to get through this time, and to deal with the pain and everything that they're going through, that maybe we could shed some light on things to kind of help everybody. It's a real just messed up situation. And so what I wanted to just speak, in regards to my sister on what was relayed to me, and how things occur, So on that day yesterday, she goes into the room and she introduces herself, and she says, "How you doing? My name is Kendra. I'll be sitting you today, and take care of you," or however their spiel is, or whatever it is that they say. She says that he responded and said that his name was Jamal. "How you doing? My name is Jamal." And he said everything was good. They was having good conversation. They were speaking. He was speaking to my sister about the state of the world. He was talking to her about how, the place that people are, just everything that's going on right now. He was talking to her about, wanting world peace. He was talking to her about, trying to make everything right, and she was saying, yeah, those are good things, those are things that we need in this world. And, they was, just talking about how crazy things are and different stuff like that, right? And so, I guess he began to say, because my sister's African American, he's African American, I believe he said, I have some of my people who I'm talking to, but I want to talk to some of these other nurses and stuff, who, I believe my sister believed he was referring to some of those who were of other ethnicities, because he was saying that he wanted to talk to them, talk to the nurses and get, we can come together and talk about world peace, and stuff like that. And so my sister was saying, okay, well, let's, get what we have to do done or whatever, and I'll see if the nurses want to speak with you and things of that nature. And so I guess she's still in the room, and he begins to talk to her about Jesus, and saying that Jesus Christ is the only thing that can deliver this world, that can deliver me, you know what I mean, and all of these different things. And anybody who know anything about us or know anything about our family, we Christian, you know what I mean, and our faith is something that's near and dear to us, you know what I'm saying? So which is honestly, and we could talk about that, but I feel that my sister was in this situation for a purpose, for a reason, you know what I mean? And even though my sister experienced harm, and it's something that bothered me, obviously, as a brother, you know what I mean, I still believe and that maybe God had my sister in this situation for a purpose, to be there with him while he was going through that time, because she was telling us that he was speaking to her about Jesus Christ, and she was telling him, yes, you know what I'm saying, it's the only way, and different things of that nature. And he asked my sister to pray for him, and she of course agreed, and so she prayed for him, and then once they were finished praying, you know, they go back to what they were doing, and he was still saying like he wants to speak with the people and stuff too, because we got to get this stuff fixed, we got to solve this stuff. And so as the conversation is escalating, she's saying he began to, and she was asking him, is anybody gonna come? Anybody gonna come talk to me? And stuff like that. And she was telling him yes. And then he was, kind of like, nobody's coming. He's began to get frustrated and say that nobody wants to fix anything. Nobody really wants world peace. You know what I mean? And different things of that nature. Like, and my sister began to pick up on, the tone of the conversation changing. She began to pick up on the energy, shifting. You know what I mean? Going from, being calm and we need to fix this thing to aggression. Frustration. Like people don't care about doing what's right. People don't care about, world peace. People don't care about trying to fix this stuff. You know what I mean? And so he began to grow, more angry, more frustrated. And so my sister said that she began to realize, I could possibly be in danger, And so I believe they have a button that you press that alerts other nurses or security that, just to come to the room, you know what I mean? That it may be a situation, or someone could be, somebody's safety could be threatened, or something to that nature.
Or even just that the patient needs a nurse.
The patient needs some assistance, yeah, because maybe, they need medicine, or who knows. So she did that, and the nurse comes to the room, and the nurse says, the nurse is like, hey, what's going on?
She asked him to be seated.
Mm-hmm. He was standing up out of the bed, and I believe the nurse asked him to be seated, and I think he was kind of saying like, no, like, he was still talking about the things he was talking about, and my sister, can't, not really trying to say, hey, I think that this is going left, but trying to signal to the nurse that, this may not be a good thing. You know what I mean? And he was saying, I want to talk to somebody. I want to talk to some people. And so the nurse was like, okay, I'm going to get some people to talk to. You know what I mean? And so she like, okay, she begins to leave out. And so my sister tries to leave out as well, with the nurse. And he's like, okay, yeah, you can go. You go get somebody, but you stay, you sit there, you know what I mean? So she says that he didn't allow her to leave the room. And so nothing at this point, nothing violent, nothing, nothing happened thus far. And so she's standing there, and he's waiting for the nurses and stuff like that, or whoever he wanted to speak with to come. So then security, which is the retired officers, they come to the room. And my sister described it as her being in the room, and he was at the door, like kind of standing in front of the door, and the security, they are outside talking to him. He's at the door in front of the entrance talking to the officers. And he's telling them, about the state of the world, and what we gonna do, how we gotta bring world peace, you know what I'm saying, and this, that, and the other. And so they're telling him, okay, well, we'll talk with you, we'll do all of those things, but first you have to let the young lady come out of the room, and then we can get down to all of those things. We could talk about all of that, you know what I mean? But you have to let her exit the room first. And I guess he was kind of, at first like, oh, no, like, and didn't want to let her leave, and was saying, like, no, we got to deal with this stuff now. We can't, or whatever. And so eventually they said, we can't deal with anything until you let her out the room. And then he said, okay, she can leave, right? So at this point, my sister's saying that she afraid, but she don't want to walk past him. She has to walk past him to get out. she's kind of trying to, figure out, like, is it safe for me to even go by? You know what I'm saying? And so she's like, he moves out, he steps to the side, she still have to walk past him. And he like, you can go ahead. He like, yeah, she can go, and the officers was telling my sister to come on. And so my sister says, okay. She starts to walk and began to walk the door. And as she begins walking past him, that's when she says that he snapped. He started attacking her, started hitting her in the face, knocked her down, knocked her on the floor, and ended up getting on top of her and was hitting her, hitting her as well, and in the face. And and so the officers, they rushing in, grabbing him, trying to get him off of my sister, you know what I mean, trying to push with him. So they began wrestling with him. They eventually, get him off of her, and now they're tussling with him, So my sister like, I got to get out of this room. So she begins to try to stand up, but she said her legs wasn't working, so she's now trying to scoot to the door, trying to scoot her way out the door, you know what I mean? And she's looking, and they're having a hard time, you know what I mean? And she gets close enough to the door because there's other nurses and stuff outside who want to get in, but of course they're afraid to come into that situation, when you have men in here wrestling and tussling, or whatever's going on. So she gets close enough to the door, and it's a group of nurses at the door, and they grab her and they, slide her out the room, pull her out, and so the fight is still going on. They still wrestling at this point, and they help pick my sister up, and they begin to walk. I don't know where, take her to a panic room or somewhere just to get away from that area, and they begin to walk, and as they're going, they hear, they hear gunshots, and so they're afraid at this point because they don't know what's going on, because from my sister's view, the young man Jamal, he was overpowering the officers. When it if we assess the situation, we know that the retired officers, they were, upper age men, you know what I mean, 59, 60 years old. I've seen some of the posts and things that some of the family members have shared in regards to Jamal, and he seemed like a pretty healthy individual. He was, good looking man, you know what I'm saying, young and strong dude. I see he played football and, different things of that nature. And I just feel like it was, an unfortunate situation that, that went left. I believe that, my sister didn't put up any pictures or try to post anything because, number one, we're not those type of people, and we don't look for, media attention or anything of that nature. My sister didn't want to speak with reporters. We didn't want to put pictures up or anything of that nature because we're not trying to demonize the young man or anything of that. We don't hold no ill feelings. Whatever his state of mind was at that point in time, you know what I mean, that led him into that situation and what happened. That's not something that we're here to demonize or to cast our judgments on or any of that, anything of that nature. You know what I'm saying? And I know that the family is hurting and all of these things, and we making this video because we want y'all to know that our hearts go out to you, and I do know that initially the police report or the report was saying in the Times, in the New Northwest Indiana Times, that he had got hold of the gun and I believe was it saying that he shot
the
officer and the other officer shot him, but then they did correct it. They did correct it and said that the other officer is the one who actually ended up killing his own partner and the young man, and so they did correct that. So I don't know, how, what was going on with the story and stories and different things originally or anything like that, but I do see that they did correct that and from just wanting to put that out there from what I'm getting from my sister and from what I'm seeing in the in the story, and from just looking at the situation, it just really looks like a situation that got out of hand that I really don't believe anybody wanted to happen. I don't believe I know my sister, she didn't want to get beat up. She didn't want to get hurt that day. You know what I mean? I know that Jamal, even from what we can see was in his spirit, he wanted to fix things. He didn't want for the chaos and all of the stuff that's going on. I don't believe that officer came to work and wanted to lose his life that day. You know what I mean? And I don't believe that the other officer wanted to kill his partner for 20 years. They served together. You know what I mean? You got anything to say about it?
I just wanted to say, yesterday when we went to pick my sister up, my sister-in-law, up, she was hiding from reporters. She does not want to be in the media demonizing Jamal, which has also kept her from even publicly thanking the man who laid his life on the line for her. And I have seen when she came here yesterday, we immediately, after she told us the story, after we we tried to console her, we immediately began to discuss ways to reach out to all of the families, ways that we can just be of service to them during this craziness. And Jamal Williams was not missing from that list. We had intentions on reaching out. So today we actually were trying to do that, to find out who everyone was and who to reach out to. And I just came across the post that his sister, Jamal Williams' sister, have been posting. Beautiful young lady, mourning and hurting, lost her brother.
And we understand everything that y'all dealing with. I fully get, like, your brother is going, he's checking himself into a place that he's supposed to be safe at. You know what I mean? A place
to receive help.
To receive help for whatever it was that was bothering him at that time, And I know my sister, and this is the reason why she took that job, was because she wanted to be able to help people who were dealing with those type of situations, who had, mental trauma and different things of that nature. You know what I mean? So that she can spread the love of Christ, and so she can, do things like something that she was able to do for your brother, be able to pray for him, And I understand how it could be harmful to, hope and put your family member in a place that you would hope to be safe, and then something like this ends up coming out of it. You know what I mean?
To be honest with you, we're not particularly fond of all media either. We are very avid. We were very hell-bent, I say, on making sure that people check their sources. Or check their resources, or making sure they get to the bottom of the truth. If we saw anything that seemed as though the media was trying to demonize your brother, or lie on him, or twist this story to fit some kind of narrative that they wanted to spread about your brother, we would be the ones to
or
speak
even
up.
And I want for y'all to know, as a family, that we did, I don't want for you all to think that, that this is some conspiracy, or somebody set your brother up, or anything of that nature. I know my sister. That's what I know.
She would never
I
be
know
a
my
part
sister,
of those kind of things.
And I know
she actually is a whistleblower for those kind of behaviors. So this could not be that kind of situation with her. We don't blame your brother. I don't know if we can say that enough. I don't know how much we can say that. We do not blame Jamal Williams. We have family members with mental conditions. We don't know if he had a condition, or we don't know if he had a condition, or if he was just having a meltdown. Because I mean, we have those. Everybody has those. But we don't blame him. We're not angry with him. We're not frustrated with him. And it grieves us deeply that he lost his life while he was in that state. Because I can remember times where we weren't in the best state. And I can understand the frustration of that. We're praying for you as his sister, for you guys' family, for the families of the other 2 officers. We are praying for you, just as my sister prayed for Jamal before the fatal incident. And we'll continue to pray for you. We understand that you're hurt. You know what I mean? We understand that you're grieving. I pray that you can let go of your anger. The anger that you feel long enough to actually deal with the grief and the hurt that you're feeling. Because I lost my brother. He was only 19 years old. He was shot and killed as well. And as long as I held on to anger, I could not properly heal from the grief, from the mourning, from the pain of losing this person that you grew up with, had a part in raising if you're older than him, and they're snatched from you. It's no, that's a hurt that you can't even explain. So I understand what you're going through. My husband came very close to understanding that pain for himself, because Jamal was hurting, and sometimes hurt people. That's all it is. You have to let go of your anger toward everybody else so that you can grieve properly, so that you can heal properly. And that's my prayer for all the families, that any hurt, any pain, any feelings of regret, any shoulda, couldas, wouldas, can be silent, so that the Lord can open you up and heal your heart from your loss. Jamal was a victim in this situation. My sister was a victim in this situation. The police officer, Ryan Askew, may he rest in peace, was a victim in this situation. And Benny Freeman was also a victim in this situation. Everybody went through things. This and man lost his friend. And this man lost a friend for 20 years due to his own hands, trying to save his life. That is trauma. My sister was attacked by someone who she had just prayed for. Ryan Askew has a family and children that he leaves behind to grieve the loss of their father. A beacon in his home, a beacon in his community. So let us not be selfish about our own pain, okay? We're not going to be so selfish that Kendra was attacked that we don't understand that Ryan was going through something. And so we ask that the families as well not get so caught up in their hurt feelings that they can't have sympathy for each other during this time. It's selfish and it's not going to help any of us heal. Being angry at your fellow victims in this situation is not the way. It's not going to heal us. It's not going to fix anything. And we're not angry and we're not frustrated. However, there were several victims in this situation. Although his mind was not coherent at the time, Ryan seemed to really want peace. He really wanted world peace. I'm so sorry that Ryan Askew was the police officer. Jamal, in his last hours, was advocating for peace, was advocating for people to come together. So I would ask that, you as his sister and his family, I would ask that you guys allow the change to begin with you. Allow that change that Jamal wanted to begin with us. If we want to protect his legacy, which that is in our interest as well, believe it or not, to protect his image and his legacy. We don't want anybody tarnishing his name because of what he went through. We have family members who have went through things like that, and we wouldn't want people demonizing them because they were in a negative state at the time, or negative may not be the right word. He just wasn't himself. Jamal just wasn't himself. And my sister could see beyond him not being himself and see that he just had an urge and a desire for peace. Allow the peace to begin with you. Allow the peace to begin with us. We love you all. We love the victims' families. We are praying for you guys. We are trying to stay posted and updated on everyone so that we can send flowers and be of service in any way that we can. My sister is willing as well to be of service. She's just not the kind that would post her wounds because that demonizes him. We don't want people to see an image of her face and think that he's a monster, because he's not.
Right.
He seemed like an awesome young man, seemed like he was very talented, and he was a very handsome guy. So we don't want people to tarnish his name. So that's why there's no pictures of my sister. That's why she has yet to speak out. We have no desire to make anyone look or feel bad. I also want to say thank you so much to Ryan Askew and Benny Freeman for seeing to it that my sister made it out that room alive, and for holding fast to your oath that you took as an officer to lay your life on the line for a civilian to the end. Your father, your friend, your husband, Ryan Askew, kept his oath, and we are eternally grateful to him, and we're so sorry that his life was taken in the process of saving my sister, but we're so grateful that he took that oath. That's all I wanted.
We just wanted to do this video to make sure that, you know, we can do whatever it is on our end to try to bring some clarity, you know what I'm saying, and bring some truth. We want for everybody to be able to heal properly. We want for everybody to be able to go through this situation with good understanding. You know, sometimes when you don't understand everything, it's hard to heal, hard to go through stuff, you know, to mend. You know, I don't want for people to think, you know, this is no conspiracies, no, this isn't, you know, an officer unjustly killed another black man and they trying to murder us, and this was an unfortunate situation of a man who was seeking help, and before he was able to receive it, things went left, and everybody is suffering, and everybody went to have some you know, it's unfortunate circumstances, and this is, you know, a situation, like I said, where all of our people, we all, you know, people are the same color, both of the officers, you know, my sister as well as Jamal, you know what I mean, and we just want for everybody to heal properly, and, you know, just for the clarity and the truth to be out. So
I also wanted to say that our ministry, Image and Likeness of Yeshua Ministries, is available to the families to any capacity that you guys need us during this time. We want to be of service. Anything that you guys need, anything that we can do to help, any answers that we can offer, we're available to you guys. We are here to be of service, even especially for the family of Ryan. For the family of Jamal Williams. We love you guys. Definitely. We're praying for you guys.
Definitely.
We're so sorry that you're hurting Queen, to his sister. We're so empathetic, and we understand to your pain.
We understand it. We understand it.
And we're not angry with you, and we're certainly not angry with your brother. Okay?
Definitely.
So I think that was it.
Yeah. God bless everybody.
God bless. We love you guys.
And we appreciate y'all for, you know, the time listening.